Welcome to Vikings basketball with head coach Jase Coburn. The Portland State Vikings return to Viking Pavilion this week, Thursday night, hosting Weber State at 7 p.m. and Saturday, Idaho State at 2 p.m. Coach, it's great to come home. It's especially great to come home with the way your team is playing. The Vikings have won 7 of their last 9 games. You're on a really good run right now, and home games are what you want. You got a lot coming up here in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, we've been playing really well. The thing I'm most proud of is our progress. We've been trying not to judge off of wins and losses, and just focusing on what we can do today to be great. So very proud of the guys. It was a really tough road trip, 2 very tough teams to play against. It's a tough travel trip. So really proud of how that all turned out. I know we lost in Northern Colorado, but like I said, I was really proud of the guys' effort that night. And then to be able to travel all day Friday and then pull out the win at NAU with how we did it, that was what I was really proud of.
And the win came at 7,000 feet. Never easy to play there. I don't think people realize just how hard the travel is in the Big Sky. Lots of schools and different conferences travel, but they're little short jumps. In the Big Sky, it's quite a production, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it took us like 10 or 11 hours from door to door, from the hotel in Greeley all the way to the hotel in Flagstaff. So, I think we got done practicing real late on that Friday night, and the guys were pretty tough to be able to fight through that. Plus, with the elevation, and as everybody knows, that's difficult to play in. But hats off to our guys for being able to pull that out.
And the Vikings split on the road. You want to win your home games and split on the road. That's kind of the formula you hope to have. Maybe you can improve on that. You came within just a few seconds of beating the Big Sky's #1 team. So really, 2 wins at home the previous week, a split on the road. You're kind of on track right now to where you want to be. Obviously, you want to win them all. But what do you feel is really working well for the Vikings right now?
I think we just need to continue to focus on what we're going to do today, in practice, to be the best version of ourselves. Not think too far in the future, not think about the past, and just focus on today. And we've been doing a really good job of that for, I'd say, probably about the last month and a half or so, when we started talking about where we want to be at mentally. And the guys have really responded with that.
All right. One thing it's tough to get Jase Coburn to do is talk about individuals.
Yep.
So, Coach, I'm not going to ask you to talk about individuals. I'm going to ask you to talk about some team stuff right now, and probably the thing you really enjoy talking about. The Vikings, in their last 9 games, 7 wins. They've allowed fewer than 60 points per game. Opponents shooting just 37%. The Vikings leading the Big Sky in steals and blocks during that period. Prior to that, you guys were allowing over 80 points a game on defense.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed here in the last 9?
I think we've made a lot of strategical adjustments to what we've been doing, but ultimately it's about the players executing the game plans out. And it's those guys that are the ones that are defending every single night. We kind of give them a structure of what our game plan is going to be, and they've been really executing the game plans out. So, I believe you can be hot on offense, but you can also be hot on defense, and that's one thing our guys have been really locked in from game to game. When we go to practice, we've had great practices to where everybody's on the same page and functioning all on the same level, and everybody knows what their job is to do for that given day and for the next game. So, but it's been a lot of that. I'd say this too is like our assistant coaches have done a great job of getting our team prepared each and every game. A lot of times assistant coaches don't get a lot of notoriety. So also hats off to them because they've done a great job at making sure our team has been prepared each and every game.
And we know the Vikings great at blocking shots. Trevon Minot, one of the best in the Big Sky, but everybody up and down the lineup seems to get a lot of block shots. That has been very, very good for the Vikings. But the one thing that maybe we don't talk so much about is perimeter defense. I threw some numbers at you. I'm going to give you one more. Over those 9 games, opponents from the 3-point line shooting 23%. and that's a tribute to your perimeter players.
Yeah, I mean, early in the season, we knew that that was a problem. We knew, after the first couple games, we knew that that was something that we needed to get fixed. And, so we came up with some plans about how we were going to get that fixed. And again, the players are the ones who carried out the plan. So, it's completely flipped upside down. We were one of the worst teams in the country guarding the three early in the season, and now we're one of the best. So, yeah, I mean, it's all about the guys executing everything out.
All right, let's look at this week's games. And as I look at it, Coach, you have kind of an offensively focused opponent and a defensive focused opponent. Weber State record isn't quite what it's been in past years, but as I look at it, a team scoring over 75 points a game, they're a team that can score. They shoot the three very well. And so no matter your record, when you can score points, that makes you dangerous against anybody. Talk a little bit about the challenge from Weber State.
Yeah, Weber State's always going to be a very challenging game. They're always going to be very talented. They're always going to be really well coached. We know that coming in, they've got a bunch of different guys who can score it in a lot of different ways. And like I said, they're a very talented team, and they got guys who can put it in the bucket. So, it'll be a challenging game for sure. And it's like this in the Big Sky. You got to play well to win. I say that every year. You can't play average and win. So we know that on Thursday night, we got to play really well to win.
All right. And at NAU, you shut down the nation's #2 scorer in Trenton McLaughlin. I think you held him to only 7 points. Weber State, you'll see another great offensive player, Blaze Three. He's averaging about 17 points. He shoots 52%. He's going to be one of those guys that's a task for your perimeter defenders.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously two different types of players. I will single somebody out and say that Jalen Henderson did a great job on McLaughlin the other night. It was one of the best defensive performances I think that we've seen in quite some time, to be able to hold one of the nation's leading scorers down like that. So going into this game, obviously we know Threed is a different type of player. And so we'll come up with a game plan for that, and ultimate respect to him that we do need to come up with some plan for him. So, we'll be ready.
All right. And then Saturday, Idaho State, the Bengals, very different. They lead the Big Sky in rebounding by a huge margin, a remarkably strong rebounding team, particularly on the offensive glass. And they're the only team in the Big Sky that's blocked more shots than the Vikings. So that's really a different type of opponent. And you're going to have to probably scheme a little better offensively to find a way to beat the Bengals.
Yeah, they're always going to be a disciplined team. Coach Looney does a great job of, coaching his teams and making sure they're always in the right spots, doing the right things at the right time. And so, obviously, like you mentioned, we know they're going to smash the glass. Fully expecting a tough physical game that night. Obviously it's another team that's really talented. Every team in the Big Sky is really talented and really well coached, and that's what makes the Big Sky exciting. And, not looking too far ahead, but that's why in March at the conference tournament, it's going to be wild probably.
All right. The Vikings currently 11-7 on the season, 3-2 and in third place in the Big Sky. An opportunity to really threaten the top of the Big Sky with these home games coming up this week. The Vikings against Weber State Thursday night, 7 p.m. Idaho State Saturday at 2 p.m. For all your information on Vikings basketball, go to GoVikes.com.